Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope everybody's having a very, very nice Tuesday. Having a good start to the week. It's great to be back, everyone. Good morning, Unbuzzed. How you doing this morning? Hope you're well. Hope you are well, my friend. So, guys, had a really fun weekend. I hope you guys all had a fun weekend as well. I went out and did some hiking with my family over the weekend. We went up to a nearby state park. And, you know what, let me just turn this music down just a tad. That's probably a little better. Just a little loud for me. There we go. Drinking huge mugs of tea and yawning like crazy, but alright. Same here. Same here, Unbuzzed. Cheers. Cheers, my friend. Took me a little bit more to get going this morning as well, so I can totally relate. So, guys, to continue that earlier thought, I went hiking this weekend with my family, and we went to a nearby state park. Really fun time, awesome time. We just gonna adjust this level here, okay, and we went to a really neat place. We got to hike amongst some sand dunes. There was a nice little beach area, so we got to enjoy a little bit of sun. As you may or may not be able to see, I don't know if it translates very well through the camera, but I got far too much sun. And I absolutely applied sunscreen, but still got roasted. So I am probably looking a bit like a lobster this morning. But yeah, we go on, right? So had a very fun time. It's a little bit painful. A little sore, but yeah, I learned my this sometimes, you know, this I'd say on average happens about once a year for me. I learned my lesson. I get like a bad burn like this. I don't, you know, I kind of have fair skin, so I usually burn like once like this, and then I learn my lesson for the season. I end up, you know, reapplying and applying sunscreen more often after that, and so I generally don't make that mistake twice, but this is probably my once, maybe, you know, it might happen again, we'll see, but yeah. So anyway, that's kind of an interesting thing I'm dealing with at the moment. It's not honestly all that uncomfortable. I've been applying aloe vera and things of that nature, but yeah. If I have a bit of a red hue to myself, it's not because I'm channeling that ironclad energy. It's because I'm just a bit overdone. Anyway, I digress. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic start to the week. This morning I'd like to jump into some Ascension 20 runs right off the bat. I'm not exactly sure how long we will play A20 today. I do want to get some ironcladder in as well. So, with that said, let's dive right in to an ironclad run. Okay, our good buddy Hexaghost, of course, waiting for us at the top of Act 1 here. We do have a pretty tasty path here through Act 1. Without seeing the bonuses, just looking at this left path, 3 combats, the chance at a shop, an event, and then obviously the fire before the first elite, leading into some optionality here to potentially go to another store or off to the right. And then just to have the optionality to take out the empowered elite here in Act 1, and to have the chance at 3 elites in Act 1 is also really nice. So right off the bat, we have some tasty options here. We could take Niao's Lament, giving us 3 essentially free combats. We could take some damage in return for 2 transforms of 2 cards. Or we can swap our starting relic for a random boss relic. I will do my best. I will do my best on Buzzed. Time to get some revenge. Hexaghost ends way too many runs. That dastardly fiend. Let's get some revenge right now. How about that? Let's get some revenge right now. Could take the 3 free combats. It's a solid option for us here. I think I like that a little bit more than the transform, and just slightly better than the boss swap here. I haven't boss swapped in a while, so depending on how this run goes, perhaps we'll get into a boss swap at some point. Oh, Seaside, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever time appropriate greetings stand for you. How you doing? Good to see you back, my friend. I've never said this, by the way, Seaside, but I love your name. I love the 1337 at the end. I'm an old school gamer, so whenever I see anybody with elite code in their name, I always get a little bit of a twinkle in my eye. Boss swap with Ironclad always feels dangerous. Yeah, that healing is nice to have. It honestly really is. It's hard to give that up. Sometimes that early 4th energy, depending on what swap you get, can be really beneficial. But yeah, it's hard to give up the 6 healing that you can get at the end of combat with Burning Blood for sure. Okay, I really like the optionality that we have on this path to the left. I do think I want to hit this early. Excuse me. I do think I want to hit this middle path here instead of this path to the left. The shop on floor 3 isn't my favorite. I'd love to stack a little bit more gold just to give us a little bit more optionality here down the road should we choose to go for the Empowered Elite. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the chance at a Wild Strike, a Sever Soul, or an Intimidate. Source of Weak is usually really nice to have against the Hexaghost. Adversely, we could take the Wild Strike for some front-loaded damage at the cost of shuffling a wound into our draw pile. I think I do like this Intimidate instead. It does normally want an upgrade. This... I do want to be kind of careful and thoughtful with our decisions this morning. As I am starting to kind of wake up, we're going to maybe take just a little bit longer with some of our decision making here for this first act. And good to know that the good morning fits. And Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen, my friend. Guten Morgen. Little known fact. I've said this before, but for those who don't know, I actually spent a chunk of my youth in Germany. So I have a very, very large appreciation for the country and its people and its food and its culture. Very much have a huge place in my heart for Germany. Okay. Let's, you know, this is jumping out at me. Let's just take this Intimidate. I want to see how that plays in this run. We can kind of afford to take it early on. We don't necessarily have to take our first damage card since we have the Niao's Lament. And the chance at a Pommel Strike, a Sword Boomerang, or a Fire Breathing. Fire Breathing would play into the burn cards that we're going to see from Hexaghost. But at this point, we're on floor 2. I do want to get some damage in the deck. And it's also nice to have a little bit of card draw as well. Especially with the option to potentially draw into a zero-cost source of weaken. So we'll go ahead and take Pommel Strike. Okay. And we can trade away a little bit of our hit points here for some free upgrades. I think I'm probably going to do that. We're definitely going to be healing away 6 of this in our next combat. And I think there's potential for getting to most of that healed back. Be great to see an upgrade to this Intimidate as well. Okay, and we do upgrade a couple strikes, meaning they will now deal 9 base damage versus the 6 we normally have. A bit rainy. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. A nice short week of works is always appreciated. Always very much appreciated. And our last free combat of the beginning of the act is against Jawworm. Again, like I said, we get to heal back some of that HP that we traded, and the chance at a Twin Strike, a Perfected Strike, or a Ghostly Armor. We could potentially lean into this Perfected Strike. We did grab a Pommel Strike right off the bat, giving us another decent option as far as damage. Right away, it's going to do, let's see, 5, 6. It's going to deal 18 damage for 2, which is solid. I think I want the Twin Strike just a little bit more initially. Especially with the Pommel Strike, it means that we can draw into the Twin Strike and play it right away in most cases, and usually have an extra energy to block. It may be a mistake, but I like a good Twin Strike. I couldn't agree more, Seaside. I couldn't agree more. Okay. I think we also are going to just remove a regular strike here. We do lose 7 more HP, which means we go down to 51. But I totally think it's worth it, right? We are creating a lot more purity in the deck, right? So we're going to see these upgraded strikes a little bit more often. We're going to see our higher damage dealing cards a little bit more often, having more of a chance to see this Intimidate as well. We're totally going to get an upgrade here. Do kind of want the upgrade here to the Intimidate. We did mention earlier that we needed this demands an upgrade. We could also take an upgrade to Bash, meaning that all of our attacks are just going to hit just a little bit harder most of the time because of the extra turn of vulnerability. Let's do that. I think this is going to propel us through the act a bit, and we can maybe look to get that that Intimidate upgraded later in the act. Let's do that. Okay, and immediately I'm happy to have that. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this right off the bat to get this out of the deck. This is kind of a scary turn 1 here against Gremlin Knob. Unfortunately, we pretty much draw all of our defends right away. I think I'd be willing to use this potion if it can save us some HP here. I'm not gonna play the Pommel Strike. Yes, I will. Okay, good. We'll bash next turn. And we are gonna lose a decent amount of HP in this fight, so a little spooky. Definitely want to try to kill next turn. Okay. Good fight. We go heal back up to a third of our hit points. We grab a little bit of gold. A pen nib. Fantastic. This says every 10th attack we play, it deals double damage. Very much appreciated there. And the chance at a Berserk, a Dark Embrace, or a Ghostly Armor. These are all pretty solid options. I'm not sure we can make the Berserk work immediately here. Could certainly put it in the deck for a little bit of extra energy gain at the cost of some early vulnerability. With our low hit points, I think I'd rather just have a decent block card here. It is ethereal, the Ghostly Armor, meaning if we're not able to play it, it's going to exhaust. I do think it's necessary to have some decent block here going forward, and depending on how this next fight goes, we may be forced to go to this fire before the Empowered Elite. Okay, and I do want to go for the Spiked Slime first. If we do kill this Fungi Beast first, he applies 2 vulnerable on death, which can be tough to deal with. Go ahead and preserve our Ghostly Armor here. So that's a great question, Seaside. I'd say in general, when I'm going after the heart, and at Ascension 20, I find that my decks towards the end of the run generally, on average, are around 30 or so cards. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes less. I would definitely say that 20 cards isn't too much. I'd say, if anything, depending on the consistency of the deck, 20 cards can be, at times, probably just fine, or maybe in some cases not enough. So it all kind of depends on the composition of the deck. If we have you know, like a mechanic like, you know, Corruption going, we may find that we're taking more skills. If we have a lot of deck manipulation, if we're able to get to certain cards, we may be more apt to take more cards, since we're not, you know, punished quite as often by a big deck. Of course, I say all that and then unbuzzed with a very similar statement. Very helpful, unbuzzed. That was incredibly helpful, and you and I literally just said about the same thing, didn't we? The old adage, great minds think alike, right? Gremlin is always troubling, yeah. Okay, so we lucked out on this turn. Fungi Beast isn't attacking us, thankfully. Actually, we might have had lethal there and might have been able to do a little bit of damage, so I think I misplayed that just a tad. And we could have got Pen Nib in a better place, but shouldn't hopefully take too much damage in this fight going forward. Should hopefully be able to just kill next turn. Okay, good. Nice, perfect fight. We go to 31 HP, and we get another potion. I think this probably means we're going to be taking this elite fight. Although it does mean if this fight goes poorly, then we could just die here at the Empowered Elite. Thankfully, Pen Nib is in a good spot. Could take this drop kick here. With the upgraded bash, it is generally going to be able to be played, giving us some additional card draw. Could also take the Shrug It Off for a extra source of block and card draw as well. Both very good options here. I think I put a slight advantage on the drop kick with the potential damage dealing that we can do. Maybe just the sort of push that we need to get through the act. Ooh, and we find a Toxic Egg. Fantastic. Meaning from now to the end of the run, whenever we add a skill into the deck, it'll come in upgraded. Yeah, and that's a really good point, Seaside. So in a lot of deck building games, right, having really good purity of the deck, meaning a smaller deck, a more consistent deck, can sometimes be just what you need to, you know, to find success. And it all kind of depends, you know. Again, you know, some decks require you to have a smaller deck, whether it's, you know, whether you're going for an infinite, whether you're going for a certain mechanic or a certain card play most of the time, and you want to be able to get to it a little bit faster, a little better. It all kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve with the deck. Okay, so it is a bit of a risk. We do have 2 potions, though. I think I do want to go for these 2 elites here. It is a bit of a risk. If this fight goes poorly, then we just die. Yeah, you know what, let's take the fire. I do want to upgrade here. We're going to take the upgrade. I'm going to take an upgrade to the Pommel Strike, giving us a little bit better card draw. I think I like that. I'm going to play it a little bit safe here. Get to the shop. We shouldn't have too much trouble in this fight, hopefully. And with a couple more fights, we can hopefully get to maybe something like a clothesline for the Hexaghost. That'd be nice. Or some sort of strength scaling. Okay, really nice shop here. Really nice shop here right off the bat. Things that are jumping out at me is the Fairy in a Bottle. We also have a Inflame that we can grab. Can't unfortunately grab both. Really close, but just not quite enough gold. Taking Armaments. Putting an upgraded Armaments in the deck means we are going to be upgrading pretty much all of our cards during any sort of extended fight, which can be powerful. The Blind and the Master of Strategy are also pretty interesting here. The Blind giving us a 0-cost way to apply weakness could be incredibly useful against Hexaghost. If we do grab the Fairy, then we're trading in some of the power that we already have in our hand, which is, you know, maybe not the greatest sometimes, although it does give us, you know, an extra life, which is nice to have. Really nice to have. I do really want this Source of Strength with the Inflame as well. What a conundrum. What a conundrum. I'm kind of leaning towards the Inflame and perhaps adding the Armaments also into the deck. Could also think about grabbing an Inflame and removing a card to further add to the purity. Making sure we see some of our other goodies a little bit more often, meaning we are able to cycle a little bit better with the drop kick bash combo that we have presently. Very solid options there. It's hard to say no to a Fairy in a Bottle, though. This alone can help you win a run. Just being completely candid, it's this probably the strongest potion in the game. Hey Slayer, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. You agree? Yeah. It's hard to say no to it. The only reason I don't love the fairy pick is because of this inflame here. It's hard to say no to a early source of strength. There's no guarantee that we get to more sources of strength later on in this act. I mean, there's a good chance we see something during the duration of this run. And we do want to have some sort of scaling for Hexaghost. But perhaps the fairy in a bottle is just how we win that fight. Let's see. So if we take this, we have 86 more gold. So we're not able to take the blind. We're not able to take the inflame. We can remove a card. Could also think about grabbing this armaments. My gut is telling me to not take the fairy, but let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. And I think that means we're for sure upgrading. We're for sure grabbing the armaments here. Could take the Wild Strike for a little bit more front-loaded damage. Let's conserve the rest of our money here, and we'll move on to Empowered Tri-Sentries, meaning these guys are going to now do 12 damage as opposed to their normal base 10. Interesting. I do want to preserve this ghostly armor here and our hit points. So with that in mind, we will, I think, probably strike here. I don't know if we're allowed to bash. We also have the explosive pot. I do want to try to get rid of one of the sentries next turn. Okay, and we line up Pen Nib for next turn, which is great. Okay, fantastic. We can go ahead and strip all of the artifact off these guys, which is always fantastic. And we only see one strike here, which means we are going to have to just block. Unfortunately, we're not able to play this attack this turn. I suppose we could have. In addition, with the potion, it would have been enough to kill the one. Not sure which is the better line there. Truly. We're always going to play this potion in this fight, so... Let's see, we're going to see Pommel Strike next turn. That's going to deal 20 damage. I'm wondering if it's ever correct for me to save this Pen Nib till next turn. Kind of feels incorrect to not do damage on this turn. Yeah, now I'm really regretting that earlier play where we didn't kill this sentry here. Okay. So with that in mind, I think what we're going to do here is probably just hit this middle sentry. I think we're already going to be able to kill this sentry next turn, even if we just draw one more damage card, and then we're blocking a little bit here with potentially ghostly armor, and we already get a chance to start to whittle down this sentry here in the middle. Let's see how that works out. Okay, well, we don't get to block at all, unfortunately. It's a little scary. Okay, but that does mean we are probably able to kill this middle sentry here next turn. So we shouldn't hopefully take any more damage this fight. Crossing my fingers. Okay, and unfortunately we see all block this turn. Card draw has not been great in this fight. Should be noted. Yikes. Okay. And there's a chance here we use the fairy in a bottle. Good chance we use this fairy in a bottle here. Survive with 1 HP now. Let's see, can we ever get lethal on this sentry this next turn? This puts him to 25 with Bash, Twin Strike. That's enough. Yeah. I'm gonna try to find lethal here against this sentry. There we go. Should be exact lethal. Oh no. It's 14. For some reason in my head I was thinking 15. I was thinking the total damage, because it's 1.5, but you have to do it individually with the 5 damage twice, not the 10 damage total. As a little bit of a misplay there. So we lose our fairy in the bottle here. But we go on to win the fight from here. And again, the draw has just been terrible. Draw has just been bad this fight. Okay, 1 attack, please. Thank you. Pick up an ink bottle, meaning whenever we play 10 cards, we draw 1 card. We also do grab our emerald key and a regen pot. Solid additions to the deck. And we have the chance to grab another Twin Strike, a Searing Blow, or a Combust. Not the most compelling options, admittedly. And right now I think we're in a little bit of trouble here against Hexaghosts. We're at a kind of scary amount of hit points where turn 2 we're going to be getting hit for, I believe, 3 times 6. I think we're just going to skip this. I am interested in seeing what's underneath the question mark here. Okay, and it's a shop. Could take an upgraded flex for a way into a little bit of strength. Pretty solid option. Could think about taking a colorless pot as well for some additional help against Hexaghost. Could also think about taking a Sword Boomerang just for an extra attack. We don't have any sources of strength in the deck, so it's not quite as enticing. Let's take this upgraded flex. I think we're going to need it just to get to enough damage in this next fight. Man, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay, a couple turns a week is fantastic. We can go ahead and dunk one of these guys right away, which I'll happily do. Okay, good fight. Go to 34 hit points. We pick up a blood pot. So between the two, we actually got quite a bit of healing. And the chance at a True Grit, a Cleave, or an Iron Wave. Truthfully, I kind of want this True Grit. It's going to be decent in our fight against Hexagos, giving us a way to get rid of some of those pesky burns. But we might be a little too block heavy at that point, and I don't know if we're going to be dealing enough damage in that fight. So perhaps we have to take Cleave. Cleave is also our first source of AoE damage, and it's going to be very much appreciated in Act 2. Let's see. If we're looking at our block density here, I think we can probably afford to take the Cleave. And perhaps we need to. It all kind of went south, and I'm wondering. I'm left wondering if should we have taken that Inflame there in the shop. I'm gonna take the Cleave since we have all this extra health. I kind of want to just push damage, and we are definitely going for an upgrade here. And I think the 2 turns a week is going to be totally appreciated. Okay, good. So we can guarantee that the Hexagos is going to be weak next turn for the big attack. Okay, get our ink bottle proc here. Also can deal a little bit of damage. We're going to go ahead and drink this next turn. Okay. And getting bashed down seems correct here. Do take a little bit more damage, but the 3 turns of vulnerability is going to be appreciated, especially since we have dropkick coming up. I think this fight is going to kind of hinge on Pen Nib and how effectively we are able to leverage that. Okay, so we have our Pen Nib lined up for next turn, in addition to Ink Bottle. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And 21 twice sounds fantastic. Also get our ink bottle. We're able to draw an extra card into the armaments. Nice. For a full block. And we're also healing here. And as Hexagos is now at about half, I think we're probably winning the fight so far. Feeling good here. Getting the full value out of this regen pot too, which is always nice. Okay, let's see if we can get to bash here. Okay, good. Okay, and we did literally get the exact value out of that regen pot, so very nice there. Okay, so we just block here probably, right? All this does is just hit this guy's armor off, so instead we just full block. We are going to be getting hit by a fairly big multi-attack here next turn. Oh man, and we see 4 burns in our hands. So we're going to take a little bit of damage here. Okay. Thankfully we do have a way to block some of this, and we also have the blood pot for some additional healing. That's a great question, Luz. So the point in delaying the potion use is on turn 2 of this fight, Hexaghost hits us with a multi-attack. And that multi-attack is based on our current hit points. So the higher hit point total you have, the higher the Hexaghost will hit you for. I forget the exact conditions, but I believe it's anything from, I forget the multiplier, but I should really look it up. You can look it up on Spire reference, and I should really know it by heart. But essentially, the Hexaghost will hit you for, it's like anything over 21 hit points. He'll hit you, I believe, for like 3 times 6. If your hit points are even higher, if you're at like 75, for instance, he'll be hitting you for like, you know, 8 times 6 or something like that. So he essentially scales up his multi-attack in accordance with your current hit points. So waiting that extra turn to pop that regen pot meant he was going to hit me for less on turn 2. 1 damage for each 12 current HP. There we go. Yeah, times 6. Yep. Thank you, Rube. Appreciate that. Yeah, those burns definitely hurt. and by the way, how's it going, Spimel? Hope you're having a good morning. And obviously Slayer, Luz, Rube. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a good one so far. Good to see ya. Wondering if we're ever just letting him hit us fully here. Probably have to block a little bit. Let's see, 14, 22. Okay, 23. Okay, we do go down to an alarming amount of hit points considering these burns are now upgraded in the deck. And we got to try to end this fight here pretty fast. We now are going to be seeing burns that deal 4 damage apiece, and we have a ton of them. We're in trouble, for sure. For sure. Okay, good to see Bash here. Getting dealt 16, 20 damage, so we're currently dying. Could play the defend in the Bash here and try to kill next turn, depending on what we draw. Okay, and we also have Pen Nib for the following turn as well. So I think we always put all of our eggs into the basket for trying to kill next turn here. Yeah, 18, 22. So we go down to 1 HP. Then we look to kill next turn. Okay. Instead we just die. 15, 8, 17. Yeah, we just barely die here, unfortunately. If we had drawn, I think, 2 or 3 attacks, we just win. GG, guys. Just barely didn't make it. Just barely didn't make it. And honestly, I really think the turning point for this run was in this shop. Here. I'm sorry, here. Wait, there we go. Where we grabbed the fairy in a bottle, and then we promptly lost it against the Tri-Centuries, which, truth be told, we kind of suffered from a little bit of bad draw here. I wonder if we had maybe grabbed the Inflame, would we had a better time? Who's to say, right? I think we're going to go ahead and just run this one back. I am bouncing in my seat a little bit, guys. I've been drinking tea here this morning to get ready for stream. So I'm going to quick run to the restroom. I hope you don't mind. And then we'll jump back into another A20 run. So I will be right back, guys. I appreciate all of the patience. GG, guys. GG. Good morning, Teach. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, be right back, guys. Give me just 1 minute and I will continue here. All right, thank you so much for that patience, guys. Appreciate it. All right, let's jump right back in. Let's see, can take Niao's Lament again. We're going to see Guardian here at the end of the act. We can take care of the Empowered Elite if we choose to do so. So we can take a random rare card, which we've seen in the past can be incredibly strong, potentially getting us to cards like Feed or Immolate could be potentially really strong options. There's also some dead rares that wouldn't potentially help us very much in Act 1. So this is a bit of a risk here. Could take the 3 free combats with Niao's Lament, meaning our next 3 combats, the enemies have 1 HP. We could also trade a curse for some max HP, putting us at 89 total hit points, but adding a curse into the deck. Niao's Lament means we can potentially get a snipe here, or here. Although this is kind of a weird path. We probably a few too many events, so perhaps go here if we were to do Niao's Laments. Giving us a way to take care of the Empowered Elite is always nice in Act 1. And unfortunately, there is not a path that allows us to take on 3 elites in this act, so we are going to be taking 2 elites no matter what. Let's take Niao's Lament here. I do actually want to take this path to the right. And I think I want to take these early combats. I don't want this early shop. And then we'll go for this path here. Okay. Early fruit juice is sweet. A way for us to gain some max HP is fantastic. And I do kind of like this early copy of Flex. Doesn't come into the deck upgraded, but it is an early source of strength, which is always appreciated on the Ironclad. Could also think about taking a Heavy Blade, but without a source of strength, it only deals 14 damage for 2, which isn't fantastic. Let's take the Flex here and see where that takes us. Okay, you know what? Actually, I've changed my mind a little bit. I think I am going to just bank right here and probably bank on the fact that at least one of these is going to be a combat. Okay. Could take a Warped Tongs here. We add a Pain into the deck, but we pick up the Warped Tongs, which allows us to upgrade cards every turn in combat, which can be particularly strong. Let's grab that. So we add a curse into the deck. Yes, okay, and this was a combat, so nice to pick that path, which means we are still online to potentially snipe the elite here, should we see 2 more events in a row. And an early copy of Feed. Super appreciated, a way for us to eat our opponents and gain permanent max health. Really, really nice find there. And I think I'm okay with trading away some gold here for a card removal to get rid of this pain. Oh man, okay, this is all, it's all coming up aces here. Right, Dandy? That beta art is fantastic, isn't it? Also, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome to the channel. Yes, Rube, you're 100% correct there, and that's why we didn't drink it right away. We can hold on to this fruit juice, and if at the end of the act we're still able to hold on to it, and we see something like Sacred Bark or Toy Ornithopter or things that incentivize us to use potions, then that allows us to get a little bit more value out of that potion instead of drinking it right away. And by the way, thank you, Dandy, for that very generous follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good one. I do appreciate that support. Yeah, so we can consider removing another card here, meaning we will get to a little bit more purity in the deck. We can also just transform one of our strikes. Hey, I'm having trouble. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Or we can upgrade a card. I think an upgrade to Flex is really good. I do kind of want to just transform a strike here. It kind of simultaneously removes a strike and replaces it with generally with something better. Depending on the potential transformation, we could get into something really strong. Oh, well, good day to you as well. All the way from Australia. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's a place that I would totally love to go to at some point. I have some family that's lived there over the years and really enjoyed it. But yeah, welcome in. Welcome in. Is an upgraded feed worth it? So yeah, I think it's in some instances upgrading feed is totally worth it. Getting to 4 max HP right away, being able to stack that HP early and often is really nice. Plus, it just deals more damage, right? 10 to 12 is nice. But I think in this instance, removing one of our strikes and replacing it with something else, I think is going to be pretty valuable for us. So let's try that. It is kind of dependent on RNG, but I think with the other cards that we've picked up early on, I think we're allowed to do this. Okay. And we pick up a second wind, giving us another source of block. This can be good. This can be okay. Not my favorite here, but solid nonetheless. And we're going to go ahead and snipe these guys right off the bat. So, very nice there. Very nice indeed. Moving strikes will help that deck speed, absolutely. Yeah, Dead Branch would be nice, right? Dead Branch would be nice. Okay, and we find a Maw Bank saying whenever we climb a floor, we gain extra gold. But as soon as we go to the store and start cashing in our gold, we lose the Maw Bank, which I think will likely happen here before the Empowered Leap. And the chance at a Power Through. Okay. Power Through is a really, really solid blocking option that we totally want to have against Guardian at the end of the act. And it pairs exceptionally well with the second wind as well. Feeling a whole lot better about that second wind now. And we're totally going to upgrade here. And upgrade to Flex, Feed, Bash. All of these are good options here. Considering we just put 2 defensive cards in the deck, I do want to upgrade one of our attack options. And I think that always comes down to either Flex or Bash here. So let's go ahead and give Flex an upgrade, giving us 4 temporary strength on any given turn that we draw it. Pretty nice. Do you guys always pick Corruption when you see it? That's a good question, Dandy. So no. The short answer is no. It is kind of conditional. As Unbuzzed alluded to, it's kind of dependent on certain conditions in your deck. Do we benefit from the extra energy from being able to play these at 0 cost? Do we get a benefit to exhausting cards in the deck? If we were to take it now, we'd be playing, the Corruption for 3 energy, which is all of our energy, and then we'd be exhausting away most of our sources of block before we're able to deal enough damage to kill. So it probably wouldn't be beneficial at this point, but seeing it maybe in later Act 2, maybe after we have something like a Dark Embrace or a Feel No Pain, to generate some more block and card draw could at that point be beneficial. Missed 2 times the Dead Branch combo. Oh man, that's always a bummer when that happens. That's a really powerful combo, probably the most powerful combo in the game. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit this back louse, ensuring that we're able to go ahead and kill at least one of these guys this turn. And we'll just go ahead and kill this louse with the feed. And bashing this guy means if we draw 1 attack, next turn we just kill. Shouldn't take any more damage in this fight. Okay, good. And the chance at an uppercut. Okay, definitely want this uppercut. Giving us another way to do some front-loaded damage is super appreciated. Could take the dual wield. The dual wield is particularly good with the feed in the deck, meaning we can see additional copies of this to try to get to even more max HP is always nice. This is maybe going to be something that we look to try to get in Act 2, perhaps. Ghostly Armor is also really nice, another source of block, but we haven't added any other attack cards other than the feed, so I do want to add another source of damage into the deck. Okay, Question card is fantastic. This is actually one of the strongest relics in the game in my opinion, meaning we now have 1 additional card to choose from our future card rewards. Having optionality and finding more card rewards, card choices, giving us just additional options is always going to be really, really powerful. Super happy with that. Super happy with that. Okay. Do add a couple wounds in the deck, but we're able to full block. That's just fine. Okay, so we're gonna trade away this defend for 7 block here, which I think is just fine. We're never able to quite kill. We have 12, 22 damage. So instead we just strike, and then we want to get back to feed, not next turn, but the turn after to try to kill this looter. Oh man, he's attacking us again. How rude. How rude. Okay. So we can hit him with this strike and try to feed next turn. I think it's worth a shot. He is going to have some additional block next turn. Okay, there it is. Okay, good. So we do land the feed, which is always nice. Pick up some of our stolen gold back, plus some additional gold and an ancient pot, giving us 1 artifact, which negates any debuff coming our way. And we could potentially get this wild strike. I think it plays decently well with the second wind. Hey, Salawi. How you doing? Good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Great to see you. Eggs are awesome relics to pick up early as well. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay. We take a Perfected Strike here. It's not my favorite. We did remove, or we transformed one of our strikes early on into the second wind. Do kind of like this Wild Strike. It does add another wound into the deck, but it plays really well with the second wind. Plus, it's just a little bit more front-loaded damage that I think right now we probably need. So, at 237 gold, I think we probably just want to cash in our Maw Bank here on our way to the Empowered Elite. Okay, and I'm totally willing to trade in some more of our hit points for some additional gold, meaning at 324 we are poised to trade in this gold here for some additional power in the shop. Really nice shop here. We can raise our max hit points up to 88 and get a full heal. Can also grab a frozen egg. Incredibly powerful relic, meaning whenever we would add any power into the deck, it would come in upgraded. Really nice to have. A pen nib is also really nice to have as well. Could take a flame barrier. Really solid block card, which we want to have some good blocking options against Guardian for sure. Could take a Thunderclap as well, giving us some AoE, which we presently don't have. Can't take both of these. We can, however, take a pen nib and a Lee's Waffle. I'm not quite as interested in Lee's Waffle just because we have a feed in the deck already, and we're really only healing for 13. Although I suppose since we get to 7, we get to 88. It's kind of like a 20 heal. I think I'm kind of like this Flame Barrier and this Pen Nib a little bit more. It also allows us to remove a card. Getting rid of one of these stinky strikes is pretty decent. Could also think about just removing the Bash from the deck and leaning more into the Uppercut instead. I think that's also a solid play. Very well said, Redbeardy, yeah. I am definitely a sucker for eggs for breakfast. I love eggs in most shapes and forms. Bomb and Flameberry. Yeah, Bomb is actually decent here too. That's not to be ignored. Another source of AoE. It also scales pretty well into Act 2. Could certainly take that. Yes, but you can transform them into lots of different masterpieces, Red. That's funny. Okay. So, kind of like the Pen Nib and the Flame Barrier here. Could take the Bomb. I don't know if the Bomb quite fits into what we presently have going on. So I think instead we are just going to look to buy the Pen Nib. Take the Flame Barrier. I'm going to go ahead and remove a strike, I think. Might be better for us to remove a defend here, considering the breadth of blocking options. Maybe just the Bash, actually. Yeah, let's just remove the Bash. And we'll lean into the Uppercut instead. Okay, happy with that shop. And we find a max HP Gremlin Knob. That's terrifying. Thankfully we can weaken him for a couple turns, in addition to some vulnerability as well. It definitely takes some damage in this fight. Okay, so we could definitely block here. We're not going to, though. I do, however, want to use our artifact to block the vulnerable that the Gremlin Knob is going to put on us. Meaning we will hopefully take some less damage over the next few turns. Okay. So I think I probably am forced to play the feed here. And the flex means we are going to be potentially able to kill 24 in the next 2 turns. This is a pretty scary fight for us right now. Don't think we ever reliably get to that feed from here. Okay. And now we're going to for sure block. Yikes. This draw order has not been good. Okay. Definitely killing this turn. We do use up our pen nib, but find a dead branch. Pretty solid. Pretty solid pickup there. Potentially leading us to the aforementioned combo of Corruption Dead Branch. Could be potentially really strong. Pick up a Swift Pot and the chance at a Spot Weakness, a Twin Strike, an Armaments, or a Seeing Red. Oh man, Dead Branch is going to be really nice with this second wind. Who is it that said second wind and Dead Branch incoming? Whoever said that earlier, someone said something to that effect, was totally like fortuitous. Oh man. Lagavulin, yeah, Lagavulin can be a bear. Kind of like this spot weakness here, guys, giving us a way to gain some additional strength. I think can be solid. The Seeing Red is also good with the Dead Branch. Gaining an additional energy and exhausting this card and replacing it with something else is usually pretty strong. In fact, that might be just what we want here. I'm wondering if we need the additional Stronk with spot weakness here. It's kind of how I'm feeling too. The Seeing Red and the spot weakness are the two big considerations here. Yeah, let's see where the Seeing Red takes us. And I think I do want one more combat with the feed in the deck. It'd be nice to get just a little bit more hit points before the Guardian fight here at the end of the act. Okay. Just full block here, that's fine. Oh, and we get to play spot weakness anyway. Even though we can't play it this turn, unfortunately, since these guys aren't attacking us. Okay, we put these guys both in a spot where we can potentially kill them next turn. And get our feed into play. Okay, so go ahead and block here. We are going to take a little bit of damage, but we'll go ahead and get rid of this right fungi beast. Put you down to 1 HP. And then we play our feed next turn. Okay, good. And a strength pot is fine. I think we would prefer the strength pot probably over the swift pot here. And the chance at a Shrug It Off, a Pommel Strike, a True Grit, or a Havoc. I think we could totally add a True Grit here to the deck, giving us another additional option to exhaust cards with the Dead Branch is always really nice. Pommel Strike is also really nice. The additional card draw and front-loaded damage is solid for us. It's kind of a tough choice here. I think we're going to be okay. Let's take the True Grit. And an upgrade to probably just the uppercuts here? Question mark? Maybe True Grit? I think there are going to be times where we don't have enough damage in this fight. But thankfully, the amount of hit points we have and the strength pot, I think, will get us through. Havoc versus Mayhem, yeah. classic choice between those two. Yeah, I kind of like this upgrade to True Grit here, giving us some optionality when we want to exhaust a card is always nice. The upgrade to Uppercut is also pretty appreciated here as well. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade the uppercuts. Yeah, let's just do that right away. That extra turn a week and vulnerability I think is going to come in handy in this fight. And there's a good chance that the Warp Tongs hits our True Grit at some point anyway. Okay, really happy I did that. Okay, a little bit of an order problem here. I don't. At this point, are we using the strength pot? It kind of feels like we need it in this fight. Could try to save it. Play into our pen nib. Okay, we'll try to save it. We'll see how the next few turns go. Okay, well. Okay, so now we're definitely wishing that we had played it last turn. Let's see, 13, 20. This never does enough damage. Let's see, 12, 18. It exactly splits if we use the strength pot now. Then we get rid of our feed. Could have also used our flex there to do the same exact thing, but I think we're going to need the strength pot going forward. Okay, and we find a power through there. That's solid. We'll take that for sure. Take that for sure. Okay, good. Barricade. Barricade. Don't think we're playing the barricade in this fight. I don't know if we're ever able to stack up enough block for it to be worth. We didn't have any energy there, so I didn't want to even play any of the cards we generated from Dead Branch there. Okay, this should be fine. Okay, good. We can go ahead and apply some weak and some vulnerable. Or we could just smack you really hard with a heavy blade. Both solid options here. The additional damage, perhaps. I think we're already going to be blocking enough. Yeah. I think that's fine. I have that same problem, by the way, having trouble. I have that same problem, my friend. Totally understand where you're coming from there. Okay, so could second wind here. It's a decent second wind. Giving us 10 block. Perhaps we just True Grits and hope that it doesn't hit uppercut. Okay, we roast away a strike. Okay, I think this is probably just fine. Okay, should hopefully be able to end this fight here in the next few turns. Okay, good. And we pick up some additional gold, and there's the corruption. Potentially leading us into some shenanigans with the dead branch. Let's just take it. Let's just take it, see what kind of fun we can have here. So, could take a busted crown. With the question card, we are still going to see 2 cards offered at the end of combat. So we don't quite get as punished as we normally would for taking a busted crown. And it does give us a 4th additional energy, which means we're able to play the corruption a little bit easier. And having some extra energy when we're going to be exhausting and replacing all these cards can sometimes be really powerful. Could also take a Slaver's Collar, giving us an additional energy, but only at the during the boss and elite combats. Or could take a Tiny House for some gold, a little bit more max health, another card, and an upgrade to a card. Also a solid option. I think I probably just want the busted crown here. I think we're probably leaning into the question card here, and having the 4th base energy just seems really nice. Let's do that. We're going to be seeing Bronze Automaton here at the end of the act, meaning we want a way to deal with the big Hyper Beam attack that Bronze Automaton is going to throw at us during that fight. I challenge you to creatively beat the heart with a Dead Branch generated combo. Well, if we make it to the heart with Dead Branch Corruption, I will certainly try to do just that. My clever flex on the heart was Medkit, Juggernaut, Feel No Pain, Exhume, Burn to play for kill. Yeah, that's incredibly strong. Yeah, if we can get to something like that, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll see. We will see what we find. But yeah, I accept your challenge, Redbeardy. 100%. Alright, so let's take some elites. I think we're already really strong with what we have going here. So we can go to this early shop here, see a couple events, a couple early fights. The optionality of taking an elite and then a fire into another elite and a fire is really nice. Okay, really good damage already here. And we line up our pen nib to potentially kill here really quick. Okay. Go ahead and get these shenanigans going here right off the bat. Okay. Good fight, good fight. Take a Pommel Strike or a Sword Boomerang. I do kind of like this Pommel Strike here, giving us a little bit of extra card draw. Really nice to have. Okay, so I did kind of forget about our feed. We do want to try to land this feed in most of the fights that we're getting. There's a little bit of a misplay there. We don't have any innate sources of strength. We do have the flex. So I think we're going to just go for the Pommel Strike here for the additional card draw. Okay, we could trade a little bit of our gold away for a relic. That's fine at 85. I think that's a pretty solid trade. Oh man, and we get a Gremlin Horn, meaning whenever an enemy dies, we gain additional energy and draw a card. Super strong relic. Really happy with that. Ooh, that does mean we do miss out on the membership card though. Kind of a feels bad there. Could take another True Grit here. Pretty solid choice. On sale as well for 25 is pretty decent. Could also take a Source of Strength with the Inflame. Also a really solid choice. Exhume the burn to play for a kill, yeah. Could also just remove a card, right? Removing a strike is actually pretty decent at this point. Removing a strike is actually really good. Could also take a sentinel. Pairs really well with the corruption in our deck. Truly, these are all pretty solid options. I think I kind of want to just remove a strike here. For better or worse, I think that's correct. Meaning we have a smaller deck and we get to corruption a whole heck of a lot faster. Okay, unfortunately we don't have any strength in hand right away. Let's see what this produces. Okay. Okay, not the greatest generated cards there, but not a big deal. Great second wind here. Fantastic. Go ahead and get some strength down. We can go ahead and kill one of these guys to get a Gremlin Horn proc. Very nice. Let's see. We can play this offering. Trading some of our hit points here to keep it going. And it's getting nutty here, guys. It's definitely getting nutty. Can't quite kill with the feed yet. Okay, there's some additional energy, so we should be able to go ahead and just kill now. Okay, good. Pretty solid fight there, and that's just a really quick glimpse into how broken Corruption Dead Branch can get. Really fun. Truly, really fun. There's an additional True Grit. Yeah, I think we're okay to take an extra True Grit here in this deck. Let's see, we can lose all of our gold to avoid this fight, but I think instead we just take the Relic. Getting the red mask is really nice. That will apply a turn of weakness against our enemies at the beginning of every combat. And Exo189, thank you so much for that follow. Hope you're enjoying yourself, having a good Tuesday. Welcome to the channel. She'll never get my 16 gold. It's mine. Got that right. Okay, apply some weak to these guys. Beat them at their own game. Perfect, and now we can kill Bear, meaning we don't get the debuff to our dexterity here next turn. And we also get an additional energy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, good turn one. We leave Romeo wondering what is going on. What is going on here? Okay, really nice fight. Pick up the red mask. Again, it applies 1 weak to all enemies at the beginning of combat. And I think we can safely skip those 2 attack cards going into this elite fight against the Gremlin leader. Ooh, could play this barricade here to get a ton of block down. It's kind of tempting. Means we can't get the shockwave down or the impervious or the clash, so we effectively end our turn when we play this barricade. Does mean we have a chance to not take any damage this fight. It might be better to play the shockwave here. Bear must be the guy with the drugs in the pockets. Oh jeez. Ah, that's a good point, Tortilla. Oh man, Collector in Act 2, that's spooky. That is spooky. Collector is definitely a handful. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, so they're coming at us with 1 billion damage here. Okay, weaken you. That means we're taking 34, so don't take a ton of damage here, thankfully. Let's see, and exhuming the Seeing Red I think seems fine. And where is our corruption? Can I see it next turn? Go ahead and get the Gremlin Horn proc here. Do miss out on the pen-nibbed bludgeon, but we still want to land the feed in this fight, so we're not allowed to kill yet. Okay, good. There's our good friend Corruption. Super happy to see you, Corruption. Get a Gremlin Horn proc here. We can exhaust a card. Get an upgrade of this Body Slam seems nice. Can also draw an additional card. And that's a fine turn. Okay, really sweet. And now we just want to essentially get back to our feed. Okay, that's good. And now we'll just feed next turn in the fight. Okay, we don't quite get our feed yet. Come on, feed. Come on, feed. Where are you? Okay. Not a big deal. We just feed next turn. Okay, good. And we pick up a ceramic fish. Whenever we add a card into the deck, we gain 9 gold. That's okay. And an attack pots. That's fine. And Shrug It Off pairs really well with Corruption. Happily take that. And let's see, I think an upgrade to the feed is probably what we want at this point. Giving us a way to get to some more max HP is also really, really solid. And weaken you. Do you want to focus the Chosen here? This fight's going to go really well for us, I think. The debuff that the Chosen gives us adds Dazed into our draw pile for every skill that we play, which is going to be solid here with the Dead Branch. Let's draw some additional cards. It's just Second Wind here. Let's play the double tap first, though. Okay, should be able to... do some damage here. Let's get the battle trance back. And the double tap, I think, as well. Maybe the feed for next turn. Okay, good. Now we want to try to get the feed off in this fight, or in this turn against the cultist here. Okay, 26. Let's draw some more cards here. Okay, some additional strong. 34. This does how much base damage? 12. So we can't quite kill. Unfortunately, we could kill with the bludgeon, obviously, but we're not. We want to land this feed. And again, we could totally kill this guy right now, but we want to wait for the feed to come back. Oh, the next turn is pretty brutal. Perhaps we want to end the fight right now, because we're going to get hit for a ton next turn, and we don't have any way to block. I guess we can feed next turn, yeah. That should be fine. Good. Good fight. Go to 98 total hit points, and another Shrug It Off seems perfect. That seems perfect. And a Nunchaku, meaning every time we play 10 attacks we gain energy. I think that's going to pair really well with the amount of cards we're generally playing. I think we can take another event here. Could obtain a relic, but grab a Writhe. I don't think I want that. Okay. Alright, Corruption turn 1 is fantastic. Okay, go ahead and Body Slam here. Do a little bit of damage. Actually, I think I'm okay to use the attack pot here as well. Do a little bit of additional damage here. Do take a little bit of damage here, but I think we should be in an okay shape here. Corruption Dead Branch is the most skilled combo in the game. Yeah, you're totally right, Redbeardy. Latest here, Down Under. Catch you guys next time. Hey, thanks. I'm having trouble. Take care, man. I'm really happy to hear those kind words. That's fantastic. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your rest, and yeah. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Yeah, this deck is essentially going to be playing itself, but really fun regardless. Really fun regardless. Oh boy. Oh boy. Go ahead and feed on you. Kill you. Okay, good. Should be able to go ahead and end this fight. There you go. Did get our feed off too, which is probably the most important thing that we want to try to do here before the end of the act. Pick up a Mercury Hourglass, doing 3 AoE damage to our enemies per turn. And another True Grit. I'm pretty happy with where we're at presently. I'm gonna go ahead and skip that True Grit. Do I want another upgrade? I think I'm fine with upgrading the corruption, honestly. Means we are able to play it sometimes when we are drawing into it. And we always want to be able to play this corruption from now on. Removing a card from the deck or upgrading our strikes and defends. I think we're always just removing another strike. Totally fine with doing that. And we'll fight one more elite here before the end of the act. Book of Stabbing. Hey, Millennium, how's it going? Good to see ya. Yeah, Corruption Dead Branch. Yeah, this is going to be a really wacky run for sure. That's funny. That's funny, Red. Yeah, it's just slightly strong, right? Just slightly. Okay, are we ever able to get Barricade off in this fight? I don't think so. I don't think we're ever reliably able to get to enough block, unfortunately. Now we are, of course. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so we could just kill right now. And I think we are just gonna kill right now. Not okay, Bottled Corruption. Now we're gonna see it every turn one. Altered Course, thank you so much for that follow. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. Welcome to the channel. And that's, my friends, is incredibly strong at this point. We bottled this corruption, meaning we're going to see it on turn one every time. It's going to cost us 2, and we should be able to get to some shenanigans from here. Could also grab another power pot, or a power pot, which I think is fine. We can go ahead and drink this juice, take the power, and grab a limit break. Sure. Go ahead and get another upgrade here. Get an upgrade to this True Grit. Generating not skills and having a deck full of attacks. Just generate more skills. Banana and coffee. Nice. Classic combo. I actually ate a banana this morning. That was my breakfast as well. Instead of the coffee, I had a tea. Ooh, Dark Embrace is a good find. Super happy to see that. I'm going to save the limit break, I think. Go ahead and save that. Oh boy. Let the shenanigans commence. Let the shenanigans commence. Oh boy. Oh boy. How much energy do we have? How much block do we have? Where's that barricade now? Let's go ahead and weaken you forever. Okay. And we set up our pendant for next turn. Go ahead and get a Gremlin Horn proc here. We can also... Probably not going to play the Limit Break yet, right? Not at enough strength. Let's see, weakening you for an additional 2 turns seems fine. Yeah, let's do that. Get you a little bit closer to killing. Ah, you took my feed. You fiend. Okay, getting an additional energy here is great. Can think about playing the Limit Break now. We don't really have any more skills to get rid of at this point, which is a little bit concerning. And perhaps we played too many skills there on our other big turn. So we're going to save this Limit Break for a couple more turns here. Still, we shouldn't have too much trouble in this fight from here. Famous last words and all that. Okay, good. And there is the Hyper Beam, meaning we will take 43 damage this turn. Is it worth getting back to feed? Could just kill right now. I don't know if it really is worth it. I guess we can try. Okay, so we'll take this hit to the face to try to get our feet off here in this fight. Which means we do not attack this turn. No matter what, we're probably killing next turn if we don't see the feed. Okay. Give it one more shot here. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't want to take any more damage in this fight, so we'll just go ahead and kill the bronze automaton. We pick up some extra gold, which is nice, and the chance in an Exhume or a Limit Break. Totally fine with an Exhume, giving us a way to grab a card from our exhaust pile right into our hand. I think that'll be super appreciated. Speedrun the boss. Hyper Beam is gamma radiation. Okay, and I kind of like this Astrolabe here, giving us a way to get rid of some of the junk. We do want, I think, some strength scaling attacks in the deck at some point. And we're going to have to be really careful with how we exhaust our cards going forward. In that fight, I think it was just fine. We were able to kind of rush the Bronze Automaton a bit. But in longer, more extended fights, we're going to have to be careful with the way we exhaust cards. Would love to see something like a Barricade, a Feel No Pain. I think getting rid of 2 strikes and a Defend, or 2 strikes and maybe the Wild Strike, I think is solid. Could also take a Coffee Dripper. I don't think we're going to take a ton of damage going forward, and being at 5 base energy is really solid. For anyone out there wondering why I'm not considering the Runic Pyramid, the reason is essentially that since we are going to be filling up our hand with cards, it can potentially be dangerous with Corruption if we get to a full hand of just attacks. It can be sometimes hard to play those cards, and we want to kind of just be cycling through the deck. So I'm less interested in the Runic Pyramid because of that. So for me, it's just these 2 options here. And I kind of am leaning towards Astrolabe. Kind of leaning towards Astrolabe here. Yeah, let's see what Astrolabe gives us. Okay. Fiend Fire. We get a Fiend Fire, an upgraded Second Wind, and a Rage. All three really good options. Really happy with that. The Fiend Fire especially is going to be insanely good with this deck. Okay, and we are going to see the time meter here at the end of the act. This boss is going to kind of test our patience. We're only able to play 12 cards before it ends our turn and buffs its strength. So considering the Dead Branch corruption that we have, we are generally playing lots of cards early and often, so we want to kind of try to put some things in place, like either a barricade or something to be able to weather the attacks that Time Eater is going to be levying at us. And I'm totally fine to see an early shop and get some elites in this act. So we'll go ahead and take this path here. Sense a disturbance in the force here. You have 3 achievements left: Minimalist, Who Needs Relics, and My Lucky Day. Well, get on those, Red. Get on those, my friend. Okay, so we can roast our feed here, but I think I'd rather just save it, try to get it played, if possible. Ooh. Okay, that'll give us an additional way to potentially get that down. Could just play one of them too. Okay, that's fine. Decent turn 1 there. Okay, we can just kill him right now. Really love to find something like a headbutt in all this. We're going to try to stall a little bit to get back to our feed, if possible. Okay, perfect. Good. And that's exactly why we grabbed that Exhume. And a Feel No Pain is a great addition to the deck. Super happy to take a feed here. Okay, and really solid shop here. We can take a Fairy and a Bottle to pretty much ensure victory. Could also take a Dolly's Mirror. Maybe dolly up something like a Feel No Pain. Pretty solid option. Strength scaling attack is eventually going to be something that we want to put into the deck as well, because I do think that we are going to be getting to some insane amounts of strength at some point. Akabeko is also really nice. I think I want this Fairy. And another Feel No Pain seems really good. Could take a Havoc here also. Let's take the Heavy Blade. I think the strength scaling attack is going to be appreciated in the deck. Lose Flex, Feel No Pain, or Fiend Fire. I think we lose Flex here. Definitely want the Fiend Fire and the Feel No Pain. Okay. Oof, okay. I'd be down to take an Impervious here. Okay, well, we don't get it. Our Impervious, no big deal. No big deal. Okay, so we're already full blocking. Let's just attack here. We'll save some of these skills for later on in the fight. Only played the daily for the achievements, never touched it again. Yeah, the daily can be fun at times, but I'd say that I generally don't play the dailies very often either. So I can totally relate there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Go ahead and get a couple more copies of Feed in the deck. Get another copy of Feed in the deck. Let's get rid of you. And we roast all the feeds. But we should be able to maybe get to an exhume. Eventually. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, we get to a bunch of energy. Okay, so we could certainly just kill here with the Fiend Fire. I think that would be fine. Okay. I'm actually just going to go ahead and kill here. We'll just go ahead and kill here. It seems a little too complicated to try to get to the feed there. Could take a dupe pot instead of the power pot. I do kind of want to keep the power pot to give us a way to maybe get into a like demon form. Dupe pot is also really strong here, but I do want to keep these two potions presently. Okay, another second wind is good. Go ahead and skip the potion here. We can go ahead and recall here as well. Something we have to do to get our red key. And we fight Reptomancer. A little spooky. Okay, good. Go ahead and get a Gremlin Horn proc here. We'll roast that. And unfortunately, we're not able to kill both daggers here. Meaning we're going to have 3 daggers next turn. Okay. Draw some cards here. Get some block in play. Very nice. Very nice. Go ahead and weaken these guys. Add to our block and then start bopping everybody here. Get a Gremlin Horn proc from killing this guy. Get another Gremlin Horn proc here. Let's see. We can also get some additional strong. The Rampage beta art, yeah, isn't that solid? So solid. Okay, get some additional energy here, always nice to do. Just get some additional strength here. Okay. And again, we could just kill here, but... Okay, I guess we did roast our feet already, didn't we? Right? Yeah, we did. So we'll just kill. Guess we haven't really been as greedy with the feed, but in a fight like that, where it gets out of control, I kind of want to just end it. Okay, another second wind is fine. Okay, really nice start here. Oh boy. Okay, start doing some damage here to this guy. Save that impervious for turns to come, should we need it. Okay, should be able to maybe kill on this turn here with the body slam. I think we're going to be able to for sure kill this turn. Okay, good fight. Could pick up a dex pot here. Just grab the Havoc instead. Definitely okay with just grabbing a ton of skills in the deck. Grab a blue key too here, completing the 3 keys that we need to get to the end of Act 4. Really nice. And some extra gold sounds fantastic. Don the red mask means we can get some extra gold here to get even stronger here. Getting to the shop in Act 4 will be really nice to have some gold. Let's see if I can catch up here with you guys a little bit. What is the defect watcher version of Anger and Endless Agony? I would say probably stuff like for the watcher, I would say things like oh, my mind is going blank. The like stuff like Weave and the other one is just escaping me at the moment. And then yeah, Flurry of Blows, yep. Flurry of Blows, yep, that's the one I was thinking of. Similar duplication. Yeah. Yeah, that was my thought too, Tortilla. Small Minds, yeah, said it as well, yeah. Claw. Yeah, they don't really self-duplicate, but kind of similar mechanics there. Okay. Okay, good start here. The limit break. I guess we just second wind here. Get some additional block. It's pretty solid. Okay, nice turn 1. Deal a good amount of damage to the Nemesis. Okay, Barricade's fantastic here. Can play a Dark Embrace as well. Oh boy. Get all the block. And this would be the ideal combo that we want against the Heart, right? Multiple copies of Feel No Pain, get a Dark Embrace down, be able to get a Barricade down. just means that we never have to worry about blocking or really about anything ever again. Okay, that's fine. Nice turn there. And that definitely showcases the ability of Corruption Dead Branch. Okay, now with 12 cards coming back in the deck, I think we're totally able to wait on killing the boss here. We have the block to just go ahead and try to land our feed. Yeah, I don't have any mod commands yet. That's a good idea though, Red. So I'm using the base mod, and then I'm using the color mod to give the nodes custom colors, because I find these a lot more interesting than the base gray nodes in the game. That's a great question, Spamel. Great question. Okay, that's just fine. Now we again just want to try to get to the can't body slam here, unfortunately. Just want to try to get to our good old feed. Okay, so now we just wait for feed and we end the fight, provided it's on the right turn. Can continue to draw cards here. Okay. So we don't want to see it this turn. We want to see it next turn if possible. Okay, good. Perfect. Now we want to really see feed this turn. Ah, okay. Please? No? Okay, we are going to see it this turn, which means we want to be able to play 5 attacks before we play feed. Okay, which isn't going to happen. So instead, we, I guess, just wait. 37 cards, that's fine. I'm down to wait for 4 extra HP. And actually, we're never going to be able to get there because of Mercury Hourglass, so just go ahead and end the fight. It's unfortunate that we don't get to it, but it's okay. We do pick up a Lantern, giving us an additional energy on turn 1. This is really nice, pairs really well with our turn 1 Corruption. And a Body Slam seems like a really good attack to add to the deck, considering the amounts of block that we routinely get to. And we'll go ahead and upgrade something. I think an upgrade to Feel No Pain is good. An upgrade to Heavy Blade is also really nice. Let's get one of these Feel No Pains upgraded. I think that'll be appreciated. Definitely want to take another Elite in the act, if possible. Okay, so we can take a Shockwave. Really, really welcomed addition to the deck. Take a Chemex. Doesn't do a ton for us presently. I don't think have any X costs in the deck. Something like Whirlwind, it would be nice to have that. Definitely taking that Shockwave. And could think of about removing a card. I don't know exactly what we really want to remove here. Could just remove the strike. Wouldn't be a terrible plan. We could also bottle another something or other. Think about bottling like a Shrug. Be a pretty solid choice. We could also think about bottling the Shockwave. Bottling the Shockwave actually seems pretty solid here. Personally, I kind of want to wait, save our money, and see what we can find in the Act 4 shop. None of this is like super impactful. Getting a bottled Shockwave is decent, and it's relevant in most of the fights we're going to be in. But at 264, we lose pretty much the rest of our gold. And I think I'd like something with a little bit more impact than a turn 1 Shockwave. So in that case, we will skip here. And Reptomancer is going to be our final elite of Act 3. Okay, we're seeing that additional energy thanks to the lantern. Really nice to have. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's see here. Do that. Play the Clash for a Gremlin Horn proc. Set up our pen nib for next turn. Pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. See if we can get some strength in our hands. Fortunately, we don't. We can go ahead and play the second wind. Okay, we're already blocking fully, right? Let's see, this is 32 and 18 is 50. Yeah. So in that case, we will hit you with a heavy blade. Get our Gremlin Horn proc here. Generate some more block. I'm going to exhaust another card here. Okay. Do want to save some of these skills, so we will go ahead and end here. Okay, there's that Shockwave that we really wanted to see. Very nice. Okay, good hit there. And we're getting really close to seeing Body Slam here, so keep going here as long as we can. Okay, now we can just go ahead and kill. Could also just try to greed this feed. We'll just kill. Pick up a Fossilized Helix, preventing the first instance of damage each combat. Really, really solid relic there. And there's the Whirlwind that would have paired really nicely with that earlier Chemex. Part of me really wants to grab this Whirlwind here too. It's a good strength scaling attack and it's upgraded. Considering the ludicrous amounts of damage that we can potentially get to, I think that's going to be solid. And upgrading the other Feel No Pain is good. We could also get an upgrade to Body Slam. Maybe just an upgrade to Heavy Blade, making sure we can get to some decent strength scaling attacks. Is solid. Excuse me. Okay, good. Okay, go ahead. Smack you. I was hoping for some additional block here. Try to preserve our buffer here. Okay. So we lose the buffer. And we're going to actually just go ahead and play 3 cards here to go ahead and smack up the time eater. Okay. Decent turn 1 here. Want to try to conserve as much hit points as possible in this fight. Okay, barricade is totally appreciated and worth. Okay. Have to respect the lack of commitment to feed when you have a corruption dead branch run and you've already got a pile of health. Well, I appreciate that, small minds. Yeah, the thing is, in a deck like this, you know, the deck kind of plays itself, and we're already super powerful with the Dead Branch Corruption. Once I bottled the Corruption, I had a lot less commitment to the feed, as you noticed. And the main reason, too, is that with all you guys watching, I don't want to, you know, repeatedly try to get to feed. You know, when it can become a little redundant at times, especially when we're, you know, handily winning a lot of these fights. With a Fairy in a bottle and a Fossilized Helix, I think we're in a lot less danger than normal. So I think I'm probably a whole lot less incentivized to go for it. No problem, Dandy. No problem, Small Minds and Dandy, yeah. It's all about having a good time and enjoying ourselves here, and I think it would probably be a whole lot less enjoyable if I were to greed that every time. We are slowly running out of skills, which is a little bit of a worry here. A little bit of a worry here. Thankfully, we're generating so much block now. We should have enough to get out of this fight. And we're going to be splitting the time meter at 240 hit points. And from there, he is going to be... Once he gets below, the following turn, he's going to reapply his hit points back up to full health. And on this turn, he's going to be debuffing us. I think we're okay to play this Berserk here. We apply 2 points of vulnerability to ourselves, but we get an extra base energy, which I think is going to be helpful. Oh, whoops. Which is going to be... helpful with all of the attacks that we have in the deck now. We're going to definitely want to play lots of attacks eventually. Okay, and then we're probably just playing Second Wind here for the last card. And again, I'd say the objective in this fight is let's just get out of here with all of our hit points intact. Okay, we can pen nib this Heavy Blade. Not quite, actually, unfortunately. Unless we play the feed. And it's not really necessary, honestly, to... It's not really necessary yet to do that. We can wait on this pen nib a little bit. And as stated before, the time meter is now going to go back up to 240 hit points, so just get rid of this. Go ahead and get rid of those cards. That's fine. We can wait here. Okay, good. Can smack up the time meter with the Body Slam. Really solid option there. Okay, there we go. Not even sure what I hit him with there, but must have been a Heavy Blade. And we got Nunchaku on a good number. And again, our objective was to leave that fight with full health, which we did. And we're going to be fighting against Donu and Deka. Pretty solid matchup here for us. Okay, get the Feel No Pain down, which is nice. Go ahead and dual wield this Clash to deal maximum amounts of damage. Okay, really solid turn 1. Keep the buffer intact as well, meaning we have some innate ability to block a bunch of damage and get some extra additional strong down as well. Okay, fantastic. And get rid of this lone strike here. Generate a little bit of extra block. Go ahead and get some artifact off, which is always nice. I think we're allowed to play this Berserk as well. We are vulnerable, but again, having the extra energy is going to be appreciated. And we could either second wind or Fiend Fire here. I think I'm going to opt to Fiend Fire to do some additional damage. Okay, let's just end turn. Want to keep some of the skills on the deck for some additional block here going forward. Donu's Dance, yeah, I love that. Why is Deca called Deca? Yeah, I think it's just because it's a, like... Yeah, I guess it's not 10 sides. It's a good question. I don't know. That's a great question. I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's not a dodecahedron, right? Because that would be a 10-sided... 10-sided beast, right? And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would assume it's the same on the other side, so that'd be 8. Deca is 8, right? Or Deca is 10, yeah. So, not really sure. It's a mystery. Okay, again, Fiend Fire is really good here. I want to play our Heavy Blade first. Okay, we get our Gremlin Horn proc here. And... okay, we can go ahead and disarm here, which is solid. I do want to kind of hold on to this barricade. We could also just get the Inflame down, which is nice. Shouldn't have too much trouble in this fight from here. Okay, sweet. Get the barricade down, which is nice. Also get some additional block going. I want to try to get our pen nib on a good number as well. So a few more attacks, and then we just end the fight. A few more attacks, and we end the fight. Let's see, that just kills you. Okay, that's fine. We can put it on 8. I think that's totally fine. Okay, good fight. Get Pen Nib on a decent number. Nunchaku's also on a solid number, and Happy Flower is also in a good place, I think. 2 thump, 2 thump. We ready our blade. We deal a ton of damage. And we ask ourselves, have I been here before? The heart pulses louder and louder as our consciousness begins to fade. A sunburst of energy emanates from inside you, jolting you awake. The heart retreats upwards, and all that stuff. I apologize for that quick outburst, by the way. I had a sunburst of energy. Dodeca is 12. Oh, okay. It's good to know. I appreciate that, Arjura. Okay, so we're totally allowed to get another upgrade here. And I think the Feel No Pain upgrades are going to be super worth it. You do have a good amount of money to spend here in the Act 4 shop, thankfully. Can grab a toolbox, giving us some additional cards to work with. A blind applying weak to the heart would be solid. Sadistic Nature is also a really interesting pick here. Dealing a bunch of additional damage whenever we are able to apply any sort of status change, like vulnerability or weakness. A debuff to the enemy. Sundial is also really nice. Every 3 times we shuffle the deck, which we are shuffling the deck a fair amount, I think. Could just grab a Sword Boomerang. Nice to have another strength scaling attack in the deck. It's always probably just Feel No Pain, though. Another Feel No Pain is just so much block for us. We'll keep the Power Pot. I want to try to see if we can get to another, maybe like a Demon Form or a Barricade, I think, are the targets there. You can grab a Warcry here as well. Really solid additions to the deck there. Okay. And we're going to be fighting against the Spire elites here. Okay, we can go ahead and remove some artifacts here right away. Definitely going to play the Corruption turn 1. Let's see, I want to try to remove this guy first. Get a second wind going right off the bat. Or I could go ahead and opt to Fiendfire. Let's do both. Okay, solid. Can play a Fire Breathing here. And then second wind again, and then we Fiendfire. Let's focus the Spire Shield. Okay, solid. Really solid turn 1 here. Okay, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. Okay, really decent. I think full block, right? Close to it. Yeah, should full block here. Okay, fantastic. And now we just look to hopefully end this fight. Maybe get the feed down too, that would be nice. Don't have any points of strength yet. Just grab a Shrug It Off here. Let's see, 48. Okay, so let's see if we can do this correctly here. 48. Okay, that does too much damage now. In that case, we just wait. I want to try to get this feed off if I can. Okay, 18 twice is 36, so we got the kill. And the feed off, nice. Blood Vial's not going to do much for us. And another Shrug It Off is super appreciated. Alright. So we are in the fight against the Corrupt Heart of the Spire here, guys. And Magnetism seems really good. At the start of our turn, add a random colorless card into our hand. Those, for the most part, are like exhaust, which is going to add exhaust cards to our hand every turn. It seems really good. Could play a Jack of Trades too. We do have 5 starting energy, and we're going to have a corruption in hand. Let's play this magnetism. I want to see what kind of shenanigans we can get up to with that. Okay, now we do need to be careful, right? We're going to see beat a death here. Unfortunately, we're going to lose our buffer here if we... because we don't have any blocks in hand. Which is a little bit of a bummer. Do get a barricade down, which is awesome. Do get a barricade down, which is pretty fantastic. Okay, so we are going to lose our buffer, unfortunately. But I still think that's probably totally worth. Okay, exhaust something. Don't really want to exhaust any of this, truthfully. Don't want to exhaust any of this. I guess we're just getting rid of the feed here. Okay, 4 turns a week is fantastic. We get the magnetism down. A little bit of strong is fine. And I think I definitely want to get the additional shockwave down as well. Okay, good. Stack a little bit of block for next turn, and we can go ahead and body slam you as well. Really solid turn 1. Really solid turn 1 here. Some additional turns of vulnerability is fine. Okay, Juggernaut can be hilarious here. It's going to deal a ton of damage here. Okay, getting to a ton of block here and a ton of damage. Really nice. Okay, this went pretty much exactly how we wanted, guys. Another Feel No Pain. Start to play some more damage cards. And we've already hit the damage cap for this turn, so we want to just wait and play the body slam next turn. Will the heart be the boss? That is the question. That is the question. Okay, we've already hit the damage cap here for this turn. Romulus Premier, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. I do kind of feel bad for the heart, honestly. This is just brutal, isn't it? Double barricade. The big brain plays. The big brain plays, right? Do we ever just want to bring the feed back? Try to feed on the heart? For the maximum amount of bad manners here. Okay, we can do 62 more damage this. $62 damage here. It's almost 62. And now we can essentially wait for our feed, should we choose to. Okay. I think we could just accidentally kill it here if we're not careful. I think no matter what, we kill it before we see feed again, guys. So with that in mind, we're just going to go ahead and end the fight. GG. GG. We can let our fairy friend go. Be well, fairy. Thank you for accompanying us on our journey. Nice run. pretty fun one. Dead Branch Corruption always leads to a lot of shenanigans. Pretty exciting stuff. Right into the... probably close to the end of stream for us. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Good. So starting the ladder on Ascension 1. Here with the Ironclad, we're going to be seeing the slime boss here at the end of the act. And we totally want to take a bunch of elites here. Have a really nice path here to the left, allowing us to take 3 elites, including the Empowered Elite here in Act 1. Looks pretty solid. We can grab a curse right away to grab a random rare relic. We could boost our max health. Or boss swap. Potentially interesting. Yeah, Romulus Premier. So, as stated by the command, we essentially are doing a self-imposed challenge really similar to some of the other ladder streaks you may have seen by other streamers. Essentially, I am going to be attempting to go from Ascension 1 to Ascension 20, killing the heart in back-to-back runs. And if at any time we die during the challenge, we fall off the ladder and go back to Ascension 1 to start all over again. So far, we haven't had like a ton of success with it, but I can feel it. This is the one. This is the ladder that's gonna get there. You guys will be here to witness it. Okay, I think I'm fine to just grab a random rare relic here. The curse I can potentially remove here at this shop. Ooh, and Agiria is really nice, giving us the chance to get to some additional strength when we lift at fires. Happily you'll take that. Hey, I appreciate that, Seaside. Appreciate that backing. It is a tough challenge, Romulus. It's incredibly tough. And especially playing with just one character, like the Ironclad, there's a couple of things that make it tough. I think the first thing being that, you know, obviously you want to kind of vary up the content a little bit. So you don't want to just do strength builds every run, especially at low ascension. You want to try to get into some fun stuff. So finding a balance between, you know, entertaining card choices and, you know, interesting synergies that you may not potentially do at a higher ascension, versus obviously winning the run against the heart, which is challenging. It's tough to find that balance at times, so it's still something that I'm getting used to. Totally, so. Okay, Flex and Pommel Strike are both good here. I think I put a little bit of a preference on Pommel Strike here with the additional card draw. So just take that. Okay. Okay, and I think it should be said that Normality, thankfully, is one of the curses that is probably the most beneficial in Act 1 to get. At 3 base energy, you're generally not able to play more than 3 cards in any given turn. So this is, outside of replacing one of the cards we would normally like to draw, it's fairly harmless in Act 1 for most of the characters. Alright, pick up an attack pot, which is fantastic, and a Thunderclap, allowing us to do some AoE damage and some vulnerability is nice. And I'm totally down to grab some extra max HP here. Okay. Try to conserve our hit points as much as we can. Okay, good. And a Shrug It Off is pretty solid. Some additional card draw and some block is nice to have. Ooh, really nice shop. Fortunately, we don't have too much gold to speak of. We are going to be seeing the slime boss at the end of the act, so would have been nice to have obtained a Immolate here. Could get another source of strength with the Inflame. I do also want to remove this Normality, so we miss out on the Inflame, unfortunately. I think I might just want to grab this Anger. Yeah, let's do that. Down to take an Anger. And let's lift for sure. Getting us some additional Stronk. Some good banter here in chat. For sure. Okay. So we are seeing the regen Tri-Sentries here. Going against the Empowered Elite here. Gives these guys an extra buff, which can be terrifying at times. I think we'll just take some of this damage here to the dome right away. We have our attack pot and a fire pot, which I'm totally willing to use to get to this fight, make this fight a little easier. 12, 22, okay. Okay. Good, good, good. Pretty solid Tri-Sentries fight. Shouldn't take too much damage from here. The Gulag. The Gulag, right, Dane? Okay, should be able to win here in the next turn or two. Okay, solid fight. Find an ink bottle, saying whenever we play 10 cards, we draw a card. More importantly, we do grab our Emerald Key, which is really solid. We can grab a Heavy Blade that I think scales relatively well with our Stronk. Time to take that. And speaking of Stronk, let's go ahead and lift again to get to some strength. And then Chaco plays really well with the Anger that we have in the deck. And actually, Ink Bottle is interesting too with this. Getting us some additional card draw and energy when we play cards is really nice. And we totally want to fight another elite, another couple elites here. So we will do that. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and take this 12. But I don't think we're probably going to take much more damage for the rest of this fight. Okay, good. Fantastic. And we pick up a regen pot, giving us a source of sustain and shockwave. Could take a shockwave, could take a pommel strike. Could also take an uppercut. All solid options for sure. Go ahead and take the shockwave here. Okay. And Chaco and Ink Bottle are both on fairly good numbers here. Should be able to have a decent turn here. potentially just go ahead and kill you. Okay, good. We never have lethal here, right? Okay. Totally fine with punting our potion away to get out of that fight with our full health points. Pick up a ceramic fish, saying whenever we add cards into the deck we gain gold. And an inflame for even more strength. Sure, why not? Could also take the bludgeon. Try to get a really ridiculous split against the slime boss here. I think I slightly prefer the inflame. Okay, totally allowed. Totally okay with trading some of our hit points to upgrade some cards as well. And sure, let's lift again for this last elite of the act. Try sentries. Try sentries, you say. You linked to that that Gulag song. He won the Gulag. He was a shooter, something like that. Didn't stack ink bottle properly. Oh no. Yeah. Gonna need you two to focus there in the back. Enough goofing off. We got a test tomorrow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, you two. Always goofing off in the back of class. And your name's Teach, too. I want to try fun builds that aren't just strength scaling. Yeah, I want to, but I have to kind of take what they're giving me. Unfortunately. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Was worth a shot. Should be able to end the fight here. Okay, good. And we find a paper frog. Really nice relic there. Allowing us to deal 75% more damage rather than 50 when we apply vulnerable. And a wild strike, a clothesline, or a flame barrier. Solid options for sure. We could take probably the clothesline. Whoops. Not in love with any of this, really. Still grab the flame barrier here. Get an upgrade to the heavy blade. Might have been smarter to get an upgrade on the thunderclap, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm just going to try to get as big of a split as I can here. $24. Let's see, splits at 70. So now we wait till next turn with the heavy blade. Could have gotten an ink bottle going there. Oh boy. So bash, strike, anger is our split. Still pretty solid. Shouldn't have any trouble from here. Okay, good. Alright, solid fight. Leave with an attack potion and impervious. I think pretty solid. Ooh, and we'll definitely take a Snecko Eye here. Not going to think too hard about it. We've got a good number of 2 costs in the deck already. And the Snecko Eye is going to help our card draw. Usually pairs pretty well with the Ironclad. Alright, elites. We definitely want to fight elites. This path to the left is going to allow us to fight elites. Let's do it. If the defect had a paper relic, what would it be? That's a good question. Huh. Paper relic for the defect. I hope this streamer is a memer. The Juggernaut. Potentially get into some Juggernaut shenanigans. We had some really fun Juggernaut stuff going in that A20 run earlier against the Heart. That was fun. Really solid draw here from the Snecko Eye, leading to a nice turn 1 kill. Ooh, we could grab an entrench. Okay, I'll take the entrench. Maybe we can get to some fun memes here. If we find something like a barricade, we can get to some shenanigans. Totally gonna read the book here. And Enchiridion again. I think that's like 3 or 4 in a row that I've gotten Enchiridion. Interestingly enough. Can transform a couple strikes here. See what kind of goofy stuff we could get into. Totally fine with that. Could also just get 3 additional strength on turn 1. Giving us 6 initial strength and on turn 1. Seems pretty solid. Let's transform some of these stinky strikes. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. What did we grab? Searing Blow and... Searing Blow and what? Searing Blow and Rupture. Literally 2 cards that don't do a thing for us. Get rid of the Searing Blow for sure. Okay, Medkit, Feel No Pain. Time to take a Medkit. Can get to some funny stuff with all that. Eventually. Okay. Medkit on the Ironclad is my new obsession. Oh man. So much fun. If we can start to put some cards in the deck that will generate wounds and find like a Feel No Pain, we could get just so much block. Leading to some potentially hilarious hilarity. Okay. Effectively ends the fight here. With the good old Flame Barrier. Ooh, and a Body Slam. Bringing us one step closer to some potential memes. I'm down. Okay, Demon Form is a really good one to see here against Book of Stabby. Getting close to Ink Bottle here. I think we want to try to get our Nunchaku a little closer. Okay. Oof. Pretty bad draw here from the old... Snecko. Unfortunately, the Ink Bottle is like in a bad spot as well. Okay, not the end of the world. Should be able to go ahead and win the fight here in a second. Yep. Okay, good. And Nunchaku's in a fairly good spot. Same with Ink Bottle. Pick up a Maw Bank, giving us some extra gold between floors and the chance at a disarm. We can take a disarm here. Go ahead and get an upgrade to, I don't know, maybe the Body Slam? Let's let's try to get into some body slam shenanigans here. Oh, whoops. Should have played the shockwave first. A little bit of a goof up there. Little bit of a goof up there. Okay. So we get our Nunchaku and our ink bottle in a really good spot for next turn. Do lose a little bit of health here. Okay. Sweet. We have to kill this guy probably now. Wait one more turn and then just kill him now? Okay, good. Alright. Good. Pick up a bag of marbles, giving our opponents a stack of vulnerable at the beginning of combat is really nice. Could take a clothesline here. Let's take a clothesline. Totally want to fight some more elites. Let's pick up a bronze scales, which is nice. Really happy with that. Mutagenic strength would have been nice. The mutagenic strength would have been really nice, truthfully. Pretty kind of bummed that we didn't land on that. But tried to transform some strikes and just got some garbage. Oh well. It happens. Okay. Alright, shouldn't have too much trouble from here. Famous words and all that. Last words. Oh, did I really upgrade the body slam earlier? With Sneko Eye? Tell me that I did that post Sneko Eye. I just realized that. Just realized that I did that. How was chat giving me a hard time about it? Oopsie. And it happens sometimes when you're flying through these runs. Just kind of clicking cards. Let's see. We got a Blessing of the Forge giving us some upgrades here. And a Twin Strike is decent. Not amazing. Ooh, another transform. Probably just transform this Rupture, right? It's not doing anything for us presently. Okay, this is the second time I'm transforming you, card. What are you going to be this time? Combust, okay. There it is. Okay, love the Preserved Insect here. We could take another Entrench. Could take a Toolbox. Could also just remove a Strike. Seems pretty solid. Just the kids in the back causing a fuss. I'm gonna put you two in detention if you guys don't stop. Gonna put you two in detention. Alright, we'll play into the potential for a barricade at some point to get into some memes. Could be fun. Could be fun. Let's see here. Probably just shockwave. Clothesline's also decent. Are we fighting against Collector? Let's get the shockwave upgraded. The cheap anger, yeah. Ooh, small tri-slavers, my favorite. My favorite. Okay, so they're going to be hitting us for 27 here on turn 1. Just go ahead and block. Just block and forget about that garbage Snecko draw. Hey, there it is. Okay. Wait another turn, I suppose. Alright. Where's our immolate? Yes, body slam. You are the best. Could play combust here. Okay, that's fine. We take 20 to the face, but we avoid being entangled next turn, which is good. Alright, solid fight. We pick up a courier, saying that the merchant will now restock cards, relics, and potions, giving us additional chances at that ever expectant barricade. Ooh, demon form's nice. Totally happy to take a demon form here. This will allow us to get out of this collector fight, hopefully with relative ease. Okay, probably did that in the wrong order, but should be okay. I'm back. Good old collector, always showing up to annoy us. Oh, and look at that, incense burner perfectly procced. Totally on purpose as well. You two are incorrigible, I swear. Okay. Solid turn. We get rid of one of the torch heads right off the bat. And I think we probably just want to get our demon form down here right away. And because of the Nunchaku, we're able to do full block as well, which is nice. Considered playing the combust there, but I think we're going to be fine without it. I guess we could have played the body slam there to get an extra Nunchaku proc there. Might have been nice. Okay, we'll save our ink bottle for next turn. Can almost kill you. I think if with the potions we might just kill here. Okay, good. Should be able to win probably in the next 2 turns. Yep. Good fight against the collector here. How was the defect run? We unfortunately died against, what was it? Tri-Slavers, I think, in Act 2. Oh, collector. It was collector. It happens. It happens. We did have some extra decks. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the scaling to get there. Fun run nonetheless. Could take a demon form. Another demon form. The Reaper is obviously an out for us. Could also take an Immolate here. Truthfully, all 3 of these options are pretty solid. Go ahead and take the Reaper here. And an extra energy sounds great. An extra energy sounds great. Won't think too hard there. Oh boy, 3 more elites. Let's do it. Let's do it. And an early shop to boot. Oh man, when is my body slam gonna line up, hey? Can get an extra energy here. Wait one more turn. Demon form. I think you're too slow anyway. Okay, so we're gonna play the defend first. Draw a card here with our ink bottle. Take an extra energy. Take a little bit of damage here. Oh boy, and weaken you. Just take some damage here. Maybe get back to Reaper? Ah, oh well. Do we ever wait for the Reaper? Probably not. Just kill. Alright, and another shockwave is fine. Oh man, okay. Grab a Feel No Pain here. It's not terrible. Do have a little bit of exhaust. The Impervious, the Shockwaves, the Disarm, the Reaper. Provides a little bit of block here for us. The collector has collected many a Spire fighter, right? That's for sure. What do I want here? Honestly, not in love with most of this. The Panacea is kind of just okay. Kind of want to just honestly get rid of this Combust. Or we could just get rid of a Strike. I think the Feel No Pain is decent with the med kit. So we'll take that. Hey, Mr. Zatissimo. Oh no, Vice Mice, I forgot about the med kit. Yeah, Apotheosis could be decent. Maybe we do want the Apotheosis, huh? I guess we don't have too many upgrades at the moment. It's pretty solid Apotheosis. Wonderful afternoon. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're having a good one so far. It's always nice to have you back, my friend. The gang's all here. The gang's all here. Sure, let's take it. Let's take it. And I think we can save the rest of our money for now. Oh, there it is. There's the Juggernaut. See what we can get to here. Okay. 25, 39. So how much? 48? Okay, should be able to kill the front Darkling here next turn. Alright, good fight. Pick up a block pot here. And the chance at a cleave, a flex, or an iron wave. I think this is just a skip. Some colorless cards. Sure. Let's see what they got. Hand of Greed. Pretty awesome. For some additional gold. It is kind of late in the game to grab a Hand of Greed at this point, but I'll do it anyway. Double Hand of Greed. Double Hand of Greed, you say? Let's do it. Double Hand of Greed. Now, those are the memes that I'm here for. Those are the memes I'm here for. If only the Entrench would cost a little bit less, or the Body Slam a little less. Alas, it was not meant to be. It has a 2 on it. That's true. That's true. That's a good enough reason a lot of times, right? Okay, Hand of Greed. Where's my other Hand of Greed? Where's my other Hand of Greed? Okay, another Black Pots. Dark Embrace is decent. Take a Dark Embrace, allowing us to get to a little bit of extra card draw with the exhausts that we hope to get to. Ink bottle up a little bit more, do a little bit of damage with the Juggernaut. Totally overblocked there, but I don't see us having much of an issue getting out of this fight from here. Thankfully. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Okay. Good fight. Pick up a Toxic Egg, saying whenever we add a skill into the deck, it comes in upgraded, and another Heavy Blade is fantastic with the amount of strength that we're able to get to, generally. We'll go ahead and recall here at full health. And Shockwave here. Okay, a little bit of a bummer that we essentially don't get any value out of the demon form yet. Even more card draw, sure. Okay, for every card we exhaust, now we draw 2 cards. Okay, pretty solid. Should be able to kill not next turn, but the turn after. Get our Nunchaku and our ink bottle up a little bit. Do take a little bit of damage here, but we may even see our Reaper this turn, okay, which we do. Nice. And a Juzu Bracelet and Energy Pots. Totally willing to take that. And a True Grit, maybe? Do we need a little bit more block in the deck? I think we do. Let's grab this Ghostly Armor. It's upgraded. Gotta grab our Sapphire Key here to make sure we have all 3 keys going into the end of Act 3. Hey, I remembered it. How about that? Almost a turn 1 kill on Reptomancer. That would have been sweet. Could have got it with the energy pot. Okay, none of this is really necessary, I guess. Just gonna go ahead and kill you. They're attacking for way too much. Akabeko's nice. This says the first attack each combat deals 8 additional damage. Fantastic. And another disarm. This one says plus on it. Totally gonna take that. Totally gonna take that. And you can definitely upgrade here as well. Just maybe an upgrade to the Feel No Pain, perhaps. Still looking for that ever-elusive Barricade. Could dig for it here, if we choose to. Certainly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to dig for more powers. Sad thing is the Rupture doesn't do much for us presently unless we get the Combust in play. I missed that, Dane. What did I say? Could also take a Cultist Pot here. Cultist Pot's really nice. Yikes. Okay, I don't think I'm necessarily willing to dig again. For another? Yeah. Let's get rid of this strike. Okay. Let's say we're in a decent spot. It's not perfect, but we should be in a fairly decent spot here. order. Order, order, order. I guess we didn't really need the block. Okay, good. Could pick up a fear pots. I think I like these potions a little more. It says plus on it. Chrysalis. Chrysalis normally would be pretty cool, but unfortunately with Snecko Eye, the cards that normally go into our draw pile to become 0 costs are just randomly generated again once they're drawn because of Snecko, and they become more than 0 costs, unfortunately. But that's a good thought, Lucas. Really good thought. Yeah, unfortunately, the Snecko Eye supersedes the Chrysalis. Corruption's really nice. Really happy to see a corruption here. Corruption is, I think this deck loves a corruption. Could be a the card we definitely want. Hey, and how about we get that? We get some value out of the hand of greed, which is pretty sweet. Okay, easy fight. Don't need a Blessing of the Forge. Don't need any of that. And an upgrade to just Inflame, giving us some additional strength. I think is probably just fine. Okay. Go ahead and get our Feel No Pain down early on. So get rid of that lousy debuff. Pretty solid. Could try to dig for another card here. Sure, why not? Good old Entrench into another Entrench. Okay, so in this fight, I'd love to... Okay, there it is. There's the demon form. Just want to try to, if I can, get a big heal off in this fight. Okay, this turn our instance burner goes off, meaning we kind of get a free turn. Pretty nice to have. Go ahead and smack up Donu a little bit. You want to try to focus Donu if you can in this fight, as he's going to be strength scaling Donu and Dekka together. Okay, solid. Now we want to try to maybe get a good heal off on Dekka if possible. Could try to get a little bit more strength in play with Combust Rupture, but I think at this point it's probably a moot point. Okay, good fight. Good fight. And we move on to Act 4. 2 thump, 2 thump. You ready your blade. Deal some damage, and the heart retreats upwards. We'll head on to Act 4, guys. Into another fire, where we can upgrade a card. And think Dark Embrace is not the play here. Maybe Flame Barrier. A little bit of extra block. Should be fine. Yes. Membership card. Come here. It's always funny to see membership card here at the end of the game. Could take an extra Shrug It Off. I think is a really solid pick here. The Blood Potion I think is also decent, giving us just a little bit more survivability. I think we're probably going to be okay regardless. I do want to Shrug It Off. Power, an extra power. Could get to maybe Barricade. Be fun to get to Barricade. This could be a potentially really fun deck with some Barricade stuff going on. Get that out of our hand. Let's see, we already blocked 3 of that. Okay, Incense Burner. It'd be nice to get it on. It'd be nice to stall this fight a little bit to get Incense Burner in a good place. So that means we have to wait another like 4 or 5 turns, which I think I'm probably willing to do. Would love to get it on probably 4 or 3 would be fine too. Could totally just kill right now. Guess we can do a little bit more damage, just in case we have to bail out. Okay, so unfortunately we just kill this turn because of our thorns here, so perhaps we weren't meant to do any damage. So unfortunately we we put Incense Burner on a really bad number for the next fight. I don't think it's going to be an issue, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll see. The old famous last words, right? And we never see the Barricade. And we don't get it from our Enchiridion. We're going to go ahead and dig here with the Power Pot. Hey, there it is. Sweet. We'll get our Nunchaku up a little bit. Oh, oops, I forgot about the Cultist Pot. Good old Cultist Pot. Some additional turns of weakness against the heart here, and he's going to hit himself for quite a bit here. 9 per hit. Or just 3 for a hit. Okay, we didn't get the Flame Barrier in play, unfortunately. Probably should have gotten the Dark Embrace down, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, and Incense Burner goes off with just a terrible time for the Incense Burner to go off. Okay, good. Med kit giving us some good value here with the feel no pain in play. Okay, good. Should be able to kill in probably the next 2 turns here. Oh boy. All right. And at this point, I think we can just let the heart kill itself. GG, guys. Oh no, not quite a kill. There it is. Fantastic. Perfect hard fight. Good way to end our Ascension 1 run on the Ironcladder challenge. GG. Good. So a couple of fun Ironclad runs today. One at Ascension 20 and one on the other end of the spectrum at Ascension 1. The start of another Ironcladder ladder. Too easy, Romulus says, yeah. Ascension 1, yeah, it's you know, it's depending on the kind of cards you get, it's generally not too much of a challenge, especially for someone that's put a ton of hours into the game, but yeah, I appreciate that nonetheless. Yeah, it's honestly really fun. Love playing at Ascension 1 sometimes, especially speed runs and things of that ilk. But yeah, the Spire sleeps and so shall I. Guys, I've been going for about 5.5 hours. I think that is going to bring me to a close today. Just a quick thank you to the kind folks that followed the stream today. Dandelion, I'm having trouble. Exo, Altered Chorus, Romulus, Camo, Fenrir, Lucas. Guys, thank you so much for the support. To everybody else there out in chat, thanks guys. I had a lot of fun today. Always a great time playing video games and hanging out with you all. Hope you guys all have a fantastic Tuesday, a fantastic week. I will be back on Thursday at the same time. Usually about 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. GG's. GG for a stain. GG Seaside, and I hope you also have a nice one as well, Mr. Zatissimo. Romulus Premier, I hope you have a nice one. Another quick note, guys. We have a fantastic open Discord channel, The Keep, where we have quite a bit of fun. You know, we share pictures and have a good amount of fun with the community. So one moment, guys. One moment. Sorry about that. So, yeah, like I was saying, really fantastic open Discord. Consider joining it to keep the banter going. Other than that, guys, yeah, had a blast today. I will see you guys back Thursday. Before I get going here, I would like to see if I can throw you guys over to somebody else. Show some love to another of our fellow Slay the Spire folk. All right. right, and let's throw a raid on over to the life coach, who has been playing some really exciting watcher runs lately at Ascension 20. He's been streaking. So we'll throw some love his way. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you on Thursday. Take care. Thanks again for all the support. I had a great time. Till next time, take care.